don't even know how this piece came about. Everybody, Chris 217, Tracy, Snake. I think I was just hanging out like, hey. Oh man, let's see some other stuff. Just a bunch of lava. Rest in peace, brother. Wild style. Is Nick on this one too? Because I know we lost my friend Nick 707 as well to COVID, actually. So rest in peace, Nick. You were a great human being. You taught me some great things, brother. And you were a great man, and I'll never forget what you taught me. So, not to get too emotional, we got this beautiful little wild style. I mean, dude, that is nuts. We just sat at a McDonald's in the Bronx, me and Tracy 168, and just drew. And we sat at a lot of restaurants and did a lot of drawing. And these are two big, juicy books. Sketchbooks by T-Kid. Filled with his drawings, Mac's drawings, his experiments, everything that happened with the cruise. Now it's definitely a Mac piece and not a T-Kid. And little, like, just weird stencils that he made, all sorts of stuff. And here's a slightly cleaner book, which is in better condition, which again, this is just, he explained it to me when he gave me these 10 years ago. Like, he was like, this is, why am I using the Tracy voice? She should do the T-Kid, yo. He was like, this is the formation of tats, TNB, or I don't really understand. So it's a thick book. This is a thick book. There's a lot of pages in this. Oh my God. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Julius. Oh my God. Oh, King did a quick modern piece in there, but this is mostly super, as you can see, super old school from the 80s. Beautiful, clean sketches. Skip the page there. And you can see that style from the 80s, that penciling style, where he's just, I should have a white glove on. I'm so bad. Look at these trains, the dynamic, what we call that, the tiger stripe, the swoop. Nobody was doing this. They were doing volumetric letters with equal thickness and volume. Everything you see in West Coast dynamics and just graffiti that looks cool like this, all crushed down. This is all Julius. This man created it. Before that, it was so anachronistic and boring. He put the swoops and the style and the arrows and the bits, the doodads and the bits. And these were some b-boys from, this is way later on that they got up in that book. There were some British b-boys who got up in there. Bad boys crew. Cool. And again, there are a few pages in here that are like later. Like those were obviously from the 2000s. This one was like 1994, but for the most part, this is like an early 80s book. This is a book of, yeah, these early 80s experiments like this. Like TNB, Tats Crew, and the lettering, where T-Kid was really just formulating the essence of this, just breaking down and recreating and redefining this style. These shapes, these kind of like Nike-looking shapes. This is T-Kid. This is Julius. This is just a beautiful book. Thick book, lots of pages. It just seems to be full of these wonderful experiments. And then a few more pages, of course, tossed in. Let's see what else is in here. Let's start from the other side. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, that is early 80s T-Kid, 100%. You can match it to the sketches. You can match it to the dated sketches. Oh my God, to draw. I mean, look at that. It sucks. And this is by the best graffiti artist of all time. Back when he was a toy. And I got the honor to paint with T-Kid and speak with him and learn from him as a man and as a father. And he taught me a lot. Ooh, you guys know who this is. Vulcan. Rare piece by Vulcan. Oh, and he actually literally did a throwy afterward. Thank you, Vulcan. I was one of those weird Futura type artists who were like just totally stylistically different than these other 80s gods. Good times. Look at that D. Am I the only one who finds that literally profoundly beautiful? The proportion of that D, the swoop, the top, the whole tiger striping, I mean, obviously not because of how graffiti has gone worldwide, but this is, hey, big head. Beautiful T-Kid self-portrait. Oh, to draw. Again, before he was T-Kid 170, before he was Julius Caveras and Grand Theft Auto and all this stuff, he was a kid breaking into cars, stealing cars. I can't even tell you the stories. He was a tough SOB and still is. Man, oh man. And he does JKD. My whole channel is about oh man. T-Kid would wipe the floor with me. He's a tough son of a bitch. And a great human being. I can't wait to see him again. Just what a great guy. To draw, this is crazy. Look at that. Look how anachronistic, how old school that wild style is. Like how the proportions is just, look at that. Before he was able to crush it, and when he was still kind of just figuring it out. Just playing with the shapes, playing with the volume, playing with the line weight, playing with the feeling. Again, can't say this about everybody in my crew. Forget about it. But this guy is just a great human being and a person, a great father. And what a great story he has, T-Kid. I mean, and the stories that he literally does have of like that just crazy back in the day stuff. I don't even know what's going on here. This is like a sword and a shield that he drew? I don't even remember at least seeing this one. Oh my God, it just says shit. I thought it was dated, but it says shit. It's obviously one of these 80s things. T-Kid Tracy 168, 1979. Ken 1983. Some later 93 tags in here. I kind of wish that people wouldn't have tagged in his book after the just left it like strictly 80s stuff. Kind of messes up the continuity. And again, this guy's a proficient artist. This is when he was literally just learning proportions. And these are my favorites, the poetry. Had a thought of her today, heard a song on the radio, and buried through this inside my mind. Not my mind, my mind. Came out like a rising sun, misspelled. My body came to peace and secured. I won't read it, but this is beautiful poetry and beautiful art. And this is like early 80s T-Kid. How do I even have this? Thanks, Julius. You're the man. This is graffiti gold. Dedicated to the veterans who served and fought to keep this great country, G-R-A-T-E, country free. He's talking about South America because there's a Mayan temple up there. But no, I'm not going to make a joke. Thank you for your service. And again, this interesting Mayan temple and trees. I didn't realize until doing these little videos on these drawings, like how good his trees were and the architectural shapes and the planetary shapes. Like it wasn't just these volumetric tiger stripe lettering. Like T-Kid, brother. You got a lot of art here. This is amazing. So I think this might be the other end of the sketchbook. Thanks for taking a look, guys. There's a lot more. Let me know what you want to see videos of.